Now we have big rigs coming in, bringing equipment, bringing pipes, bringing chemicals, and bringing gravel. And this is going to be an ongoing process that could last, if you go by what can happen, it could last many months. They mentioned two or 3 months. Not if they do a workover on the well. Just bring new rigs and keep drilling. And that keep drilling can happen for 6-8 months of constant noise, because it's 24 hours a day. They have generators operating and huge diesel generators running the rig. It takes 1,500 horsepower on each one of the generators, and it takes 2 or 3 of them to actually run the rig. Just imagine what it is to listen to a 1,500 horsepower.
Constant. So like two locomotive engines running constant, and that rumble, and the area there with the limestone, everything echoes, and our house vibrates.
Water carries sound.
So
And it's the thin end of the wedge, because if they get their little drills in there, they're going to keep on going and drill the whole of the Everglades. It's a big oil field running across there. They're not going to stop just at your house.
okay. Well, thank you all so much. We have to get in and talk to the committee members really quick. Okay.
Well, you don't have to stop, because I'm here. This is for citizen journalists all over. It's my last camera I have, but anybody, this will not be censored, so say whatever you'd like based upon as much fact as you have. So if you could state your name again and why you're here.
Okay, I'm Jaime Duran. I'm the guy that won the lottery from hell. I got the well. The reason we're here is because we wanted to hear what the committee was going to do.
Yeah.
They are charged with protecting our environment and protecting us. And we really didn't have a lot of hope because basically it's a constant rubber stamp process. But today we got a little victory. We got a vote to recommend to the judge that they deny the permit.
Okay.
The judge will then recommend to the FDEP, and then the FDEP can decide to
Pay attention or not?
pay attention or not.
I think I heard you mention with your wife that you are one of the closest, if not the closest, living neighbors
We're the closest.
to this proposal.
We're gonna get to see the well.
Ground zero.
Well, we're hoping not. We're hoping not.
Amen.
And it's John.
John
Dr.
Dwyer.
John. Yes.
Thank you. I'm a good friend of Jaime and Pam, and we have been engaged in fighting this thing for a long while. And it's a small victory, as Jaime says, but it's a good victory, and we are very, very happy that this group now has finally come around to support our side to deny the permit. We're hoping that they don't renege. They almost did, but in the end, they kept it strong, and they didn't name all of the things that we're worried about, but they named 4 big things, and we really do appreciate that. I want to make sure that the EPA comments that end today, the last comments that are being taken from the public have to be submitted by today at midnight, and that is a really important next step. It's about the injection well. And regardless of what Mr. Garrett said today, that they don't need the injection well, they do. It's going to involve hauling millions of gallons of waste somewhere. And, maybe Mr. Nance will allow him to put it on his field that they put the other one on, the Immokalee well, which is right up at the other end of the canal they were talking about. When you go to Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary today, you can hear the drilling from that Immokalee well right now. The rig is there. They lost the string, and it's not just the roar of the motors. It's the bang, bang, bang of these huge hammers knocking the tubes down into the earth.
I don't know how we're not all crying 24 hours a day from what's already happened. I would like someone to tell me that what I didn't understand in the meeting is who is going to make the final decision.
Oh, that's
It's not these people. I thought
the
these 5
DEP.
people, no.
Yeah, they pass it on. This is a recommendation
Mm-hmm.
for the Big Cypress Swamp Advisory Committee, and then they pass it on to the judge, who then passes it on to the DEP for the final decision. So it's in the hands, this exploratory well, in the Department of Environmental Protection.
And that's a large committee, like the committee who
No,
actually has
that's
the final
state.
vote?
That's the state that actually permitted the application in the first place.
Okay.
So it's back to square one again.
Before they had all the comments.
Yeah, before they
permitted.
had all the comments and before they had this recommendation, so they'll be under a bit more pressure to do the right thing and deny the permit,
Right.
but they don't have to. They're under no obligation. They can continue and say, well, thank you for those comments. We stick by our original ruling.
Sure.
But we're hoping that they don't, because they'll be so overwhelmed by the evidence that has come forth from all the lawyers and the agencies and the Conservancy and the Sierra Club and the people, and actually look at the Everglades Restoration Project that they will, by at this point, know that not here, not this one, and they'll make that exception.
Are people surprised at the result today? I mean, I'm not because the information is available, but I am because I really thought that they were just going to just listen to us, hoo-ha, hoo-ha,
Because we only had one
and that's
person at the
it.
beginning, Kathleen Worley. She was the
Yeah.
only one who said she wanted to deny it. All the others were ready to approve it. So,
Right.
so it is
And
surprising.
they kept
And it happened
engineering the
after
top.
public comment,
Right,
the
right.
change.
Sure.
If you notice, even though we
That's
only
it.
had a few people because most had left by then, but
Right.
still, it was,
They keep engineering these meetings to prohibit the public from talking. They limit us to 2 minutes. I have hours worth of information to say.
As they have to make their
Yes,
decisions.
Right, and you have to listen to Mr. Micah blather on for hours. I'm allowed to say this, right, and you're,
Yes, this is not censored.
okay, well, that's,
Fact taker.
he is really an example of why this is such a difficult process, and why people have to quit saying, oh, we've got to be energy independent. We have to do this for the good of the country, that it's somehow patriotic to allow oil drilling in
To
Florida.
prevent it from coming from another country.
Yeah.
It's like there's only one solution that they really offer. Either get it here or get it over there.
Right.
But they're sending. Dan A. Hughes was at the first meeting, and he said it will go overseas to the highest bidder. You are delusional if you think
Our
that
oil is going to go
it's-
into our
yeah,
tanks.
Just like the
Oh
tar
my
sands
God.
that they're bringing across the country.
They-
It goes to China.
It's all exported. It's going to China because they're paying the higher price right now. These people don't care. There's not going to be jobs. This is a big balloon that they had people.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Which this country will lose because the people from other countries and our own citizens and such cannot recreate, fish, eat, hunt, whatever they do.
Yeah.
Cannot do it here if this goes through, if this goes forward.
Right, we're
There
done.
will be no tourists.
It'll be a wasteland.
No.
I mean, we already can't eat anything out of the Gulf of Mexico, thanks to BP.
Right?
But
Can't eat
that's-
shrimp anymore.
No, it's done, no stone crab,
Three
everything,
heads.
oysters, everything, it's all finished.
If we get oil, we'll lose tourism. So, and how much money is that going to cost for the few oil jobs? Because they are few.
97%
There are
don't go anywhere.
It's like,
Dry wells.
and one industrial oil worker dies every 3 days now in the United States. One worker every 3 days dies.
Well, I never heard about that, and
It's
apparently
in the
everybody else
facts.
hasn't either.
No, they keep all this hidden. They don't
Along-
tell you
along with the
how,
land camps.
yeah, how high the risk is to these workers.
Okay,
Filed
everybody.
again today.
Well, let's see.
100,000 acres, just over.
Are you, you want to add some comment? This is not censored, you
Well-
don't have to. It's, some people are making comments. This is for a citizen journalist project. And I want to tell everybody, there's another person I will mention who it isn't around, but we were launching a project. It's in planning stages as a documentary to include everything that everybody's done so far. All this environmental, clean water, as well as the anti-fracking stuff.
And save
So-
the Panthers.
Well, of course, that's part of it. You've got the wildlife, the name of your,
South Florida Wildlands Association.
yes, very good.
But I actually have another meeting I've got to go to.
Go.
now. So I'm
No,
gonna
thank you for
take
being
off.
here. We're
Okay.
all grateful
Thank
we're
you.
all here. Would somebody summarize and tell everybody who will be watching this, not today, what we can still do? How can we keep
ahead,
people
Karen.
mobilized no matter what stage this is at, until it's like New York State, an absolute Cuomo vote, no.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
It's got to be more general than just Florida. Florida is supremely important to us because we live here.
Yes.
And it's a very different environment from the rest of North America. But everybody in North America has to get behind the idea that we need to change to solar energy. We have to invest in solar farms and divest from the fossil fuel industry. Oil is not going to solve any problem.
Oil is dead.
Dinosaur. It's the
It was around when the dinosaurs were here.
Industry.
Yes, and we should get out of it quick because they're just bleeding us for every penny they can as long as